Brussels, the heart of the European Union, and the place where every major decision about Europe's future is supposed to be made. But in 2025, the city that represents the EU is also exposing its biggest failures. Decades of mismanaged migration policies, social integration plans that have never delivered, a security strategy that can't keep up with reality, and political leaders who seem more focused on debates and bureaucracy than the people living right outside those very buildings that they're debating in. As Brussels expands, so do the problems. Rising crime, social fragmentation, overwhelmed services, and entire districts that feel abandoned by the very system meant to protect them.
This was legit the most unsafe that I have felt in like probably 10 years.
The EU calls this city a success story, but the cracks are impossible to ignore. And Brussels, its streets, its communities, its growing tension is becoming the clearest sign yet that Europe's policies are falling apart. We came here to see it for ourselves, and what we found raises serious questions about where Europe is heading next.
Brussels has been around for over 1,000 years. It started as a small trading settlement on the Seine River, basically a medieval stopover that somehow, some way, became the political capital of an entire continent. But now, in 2025, the picture of Brussels, the representative face of Europe and the EU, is very different. It's become one of rapid decay, rising crime, and much more. And today, we're going to explore the very streets of the representative capital of the ever-failing state of the European Union. Welcome to Brussels in 2025. What do you think? For you?
I don't think it would even cover my hair.
Yeah.
Too much hair.
It's a different world. A lot of people say that Brussels is supposed to represent the future of Europe. If this has anything to do with the future of Europe, I'm signing out. I think Naomi and I are completely signing out. Feels like we're in Morocco.
We're literally the only two people that look like us.
We are the only two actual Europeans here. It's an absolute joke.
Even the mannequins are wearing hijabs.
Every mannequin, every store, every storefront is every single woman. It's quite literally 99% to 1, and Naomi is the only one.
I'm the one.
In this entire area. Unbelievable. And people are going to say, yeah, this is only one section or one whatever. This is one section or one segment, I guess, of the city, but it's not. Today we're going to go to 5 or 6 different areas, and let me tell you something, guys. it is about 60%, about 60+%. Actually, I would say probably closer to 80% of Brussels that is like this. I'm not even exaggerating. The center area where the EU office buildings and the historical central area for tourists, the gentrified crap that's there. Everything else around it is like this.
It's 78% of Brussels.
78%
that is of foreign ethnicity.
Yes.
Coming to a city next to you.
If Europe keeps going down the same path, I don't know. You guys need to wake up. Really. %. Absolutely 0%. There's no Europeans like this guy here on the left that walked past. It's mental. I'm just gonna let the camera roll and I'm gonna let it keep rolling because I want you guys to see this.
Actually wondering
why
there's so many people here.
Why is there so many people?
Over the office on the other side. It's like an organization for people that don't have a job, that are unemployed.
So social welfare.
Yeah. I think actually they help find a job maybe or something. Could be social welfare as well. My French is not very good.
Yeah. Europe and the European Union is supposed to be a symbol of progress, of unity, of started with the idea of European pride and making Europe a stronger and more prosperous and safer place. But Brussels is the absolute opposite of all of those values. This city, like, we've only quite literally been here now for a couple hours. It is the absolute 180-degree opposite of the picture of what the EU is trying to represent.
Now we're asking you guys, we're asking all of you Europeans, all of the Americans as well that are of European descent, do you feel represented by Brussels? I'm sure not a single one of you will say yes. Unless, of course, you're a little deranged. Now again, 78%, that is 8 out of 10 people, are of foreign descent in Brussels. Now I thought to myself, surely that must be because the EU Parliament is here and lots of Europeans from other countries are in the city of Brussels, and it's a clear yes and no. The majority of people are still of non-EU descent in the city of Brussels, and that is after the EU has been giving out European passports like it's lotto tickets for the last 10 years.
You can get a feel for just how filthy the streets are here. Nobody knows how to use the bin here.
Reading, it doesn't even tell halal butcher, it says Islamic butcher.
Yeah, they don't even you don't even need to put the stamp of approval of halal on the butchers here. It just says Islamic.
It's obvious, yeah.
It's Islamic butcher. It's entirely Arabic. Also, there's like a serious amount of Romas here. Like gangs and gangs and gangs of Romas all throughout the city. There's another one over there. Like quite literally every street corner that you walk down, you have scammers, begging gangs, homeless, local people. And the majority of the signs, like basically every sign of every store is either English or Arabic. And then you have, of course, French, because a huge amount of the people coming here will be from Northern Africa, like French-speaking parts of Africa as well.
The crazy thing is though that you don't see much Flemish. Like usually
very little
Belgium
Flemish,
it's like half, or I don't know if it's 50-50, but like a lot of them are also speaking Flemish.
Yeah.
But you don't see Flemish signs.
You look at this street here, just have a look at how beautiful these houses are. So this houses, I don't know when they would have been put here, a very, very long time ago. And then some of them seem to be a little bit on the newer side. But quite literally the entire population of this area where we are, we're currently in Molenbeek, which is surprisingly similar sounding to Mozambique. But Molenbeek is an area that is known for being one of the most sort of challenged economically areas, and it's representative because when you look down at the bottom, I mean this whole area here is quite literally absolutely filthy on the ground level, but then when you look up towards the sky you have all of the beautiful European architecture. It's absolutely crazy. A lot of these old beautiful houses as well have quite literally been transformed into social housing blocks. So like when you typically think of social housing, I know when I think of social housing for me in Ireland where I'm from, it's usually big grey nasty tower blocks that look like something out of the Soviet Union. It's not places like this here behind us at all. The buildings, they portray sort of like beauty and money and everything else along those lines, but this area is quite literally the opposite.
I think a drug courier just saw us.
Yeah?
There was somebody taking a picture of us and going quickly into the building and probably sending the picture to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
So I assume the people in the area know now that we're here with the cameras.
100%, yeah. There's quite literally on almost every corner as well. I forgot to mention this. We've encountered countless amounts of drug dealers. It's like just out in the open. It's completely public. They don't care about hiding it. People here quite literally just commit full-blown crime, like full-on petty crime and worse in broad daylight, like absolute broad daylight. Nobody cares. We've encountered in the metro stations people just completely refuse to pay. So there's metro stations that we just have gone through. So we arrived to one of the metro stations here, and believe it or not, they just leave the gates open. So like no one has to pay. It's completely for free. We paid, of course. The people that are like paying their taxes to go into these metro stations, they're paying. A lot of those people are paying. But the people in these areas don't have to pay at all. All of the gates are just open, like they're just open. They're left open because they know the people are not going to pay the fares. And then on the stations where they're closed, closer to the center tourist areas, because the tourists, of course, they are the ones that have to pay. The people who are visiting here and putting money into the system, they're the ones that have to pay, not the people that are mooching off of the social systems. They will push through, so they'll come up behind you and push through, or they'll push through one of their friends, and quite literally 20, 30, 40 people at one time will go through.
One guy literally got annoyed because it took me too long to open the gate behind me.
Exactly.
I was just standing there, just like kind of waiting it out for him to leave, and then he got really annoyed.
It's insane. And then if you try and push back and say, no, you're not going to dodge your fare on me, things will escalate very quickly and you can get yourself in a very violent situation very fast. But that's the reality of Europe at the moment. It's messed up.
Your average tourist that comes to Brussels, trying the fries, ignoring everything else.
Oh, gonna get killed.
At least the whole argument here in Brussels of having military-aged men come here and slowly invading the city is not that correct, because you do see lots and lots of women. I feel like the argument here is going to be more one of each and every one of those women will have 5 to 6 kids probably, while we as white European women have 0 to maybe 1, maybe 1, but that's a fault of white European women. That's a fault of destroying the whole family union, of destroying tradition within the European continent. I was actually wondering how long it's going to take for one of the Central or Western European countries to get rid of secularism and proclaim themselves an Islamic country. And I'm pretty sure we found the country right here, right now, that's gonna do it first. I guess Belgium, maybe 5 years.
Belgium, the UK and France, you guys are the first 3 nations that will be completely 100% converted to Islam. I guarantee it. Modern Brussels is a city of contradictions. It is one of the wealthiest regions of Europe on paper. But when it comes to the actual citizens of the city, about 1 in every 3 people here live in poverty or live at risk of living in poverty. We're seeing a lot of homeless people and a lot of drug issues out here on the streets of this city. And believe it or not, the vast majority of the homeless people that we are seeing so far are people, like here for example, you can see a bed. You see a lot of this, we've seen a lot of it so far. And by the way, every crosswalk is has to be in some form of a rainbow. It needs to be gay or whatever, so that's covered, guys, don't worry. You have a lot of homelessness, a lot of drug issues, a lot of crime issues, a lot of money issues, but at least the taxpayer money is going to this. This is where you want all of your money to go when your family members could be sleeping on the street. The vast majority of homeless people seem to be either native Belgian or they're people who have quite literally just arrived into Europe, like young Syrians, etc, etc. Have a look here. Quite literally what could be a very, very beautiful shot of the river here. You've got completely plastered all along the sides with graffiti and a lot of different areas where a huge walkway sort of area where a lot of homeless people can sort of set themselves up and obviously use whatever sort of narcotics that they want to. This city is mental. Like, I've heard bad things about Brussels so far, and a lot of people have told us to never even come here, but I'm actually glad that we are experiencing this, because this feels like sort of the ground zero basically of the hurricane of messed up shit in Europe.
You know the way in every single video of ours we are supporting or trying to support a local shop that is owned by somebody who is native to that country? We haven't even seen one here. I'm pretty sure you will have to go to the tourist area in order to see one of those, and even then I wouldn't even be 100% that is in the hands of a native Belgian person.
Yeah, and all of the stores that are selling typical Belgian food and Belgian beer and everything else along those lines, they're big corporate chains. We're having a hard time finding basically like family run Belgian businesses. Very, very difficult. Unless you want halal meat or a typical sort of Lebanese or Moroccan food, or you want a Turkish bakery or something along those lines. you're not going to find what you're looking for. Have a look at this. Look at this archway here, just a random street. Absolutely beautiful. So you can get a feel basically of what this area here actually used to look like. This is from 1760. It's engraved on the actual archway itself. And this obviously would have been back in the day when people actually had some morals in Europe and had some sort of understanding of the foundation of European society. Look at how beautiful that is. So this up here, and then if you pan down, you can get a look at what actual modern Brussels looks like. This is what Brussels looks like nowadays. Just degeneracy, decay, brain rot. I think I'm actually going to rename this city to the brain rot capital of Europe. These houses here are absolutely gorgeous as well. I don't know what this is. Yeah. Some sort of a woman scaling a wall. This is, you know, your typical sort of modern art, which is just, in my opinion, it's disgusting. No thought goes into it. And then you have, if you go back hundreds of years, like quite literally, you need to go back at least a minimum of about 500 years. And then you have things like this. So intricate, so beautiful, so much thought, so much detail, so much inspiration reaching up towards the sky. Everything is sort of on an elevated scale. If you look at this, if I look at this, I get inspired. When I look at something like that, I get inspired. I want to create more things. I want to do more things. Whereas when I look at something like this here, when you pan across the street, like this is quite literally across the street, this building here, when you look at that, I just don't think of anything. I just think I want to find the highest place on top of this building and just belly flop off the top of it down onto the street below. Looks like blood spatter, but Naomi is saying she thinks it's chocolate pudding. Could also be human shit.
Oh,
yep.
I didn't think of that. We actually found a Lada here in Brussels.
For $1,200 US.
It's for sale for $1,200 US. Lada Club Bulgaria. How cool would it be to go around Europe in a whip like that?
Imagine.
Oh, that would be so nice.
I love the green as well.
Yeah, the green is super nice, and also the old school tone of green leather on the inside. I love that. We actually found a Belgian product store. This one here says it has unique Belgian products. It says there on the site.
It's closed.
It's closed and also destroyed. How insane is that?
Quite literally the very first business that we found that has a Belgian flag, seems to be proud to be Belgian, and it has its door quite literally smashed in and it's closed. So yeah, it's disgusting.
It must have happened recently as well, because all of the glass is obviously still on the floor. One positive thing, and I hope it stays positive, that I have to say is that Brussels is actually getting ready for a Christmas market.
The head of the baby Jesus was decapitated after a pro-Palestine mob gate-crashed Brussels Christmas markets.
Whereas in Germany every single week, unfortunately, more and more Christmas markets are getting cancelled because of the security risk and also the cost of security being way too high in order to justify having a Christmas market. But here, so far, it looks like there might be a little Christmas market happening right here in Brussels.
Absolutely crazy. It's a random metro station stop, so we decided to jump on the metro to go to a different area, and that's the first thing that you see. Mental.
And the people that work here just walk past without...
People that are working here, they don't even take notice of it. The city is absolutely screwed. Right, so we made our way now to Macanje, which is known as basically the little Africa of Brussels. And that obviously has to do with the Belgian occupation abroad in a lot of Africa. We're not ignoring that happened in the past. But just because something like that happened doesn't mean that people who had nothing to do with it should suffer nowadays. Nonetheless, we made it to this area, which is considered the little Africa of Brussels, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, it's the most European feeling part of Brussels so far that we've been to. Everything though, quite literally everything, is under construction. We've experienced this in a lot of other areas that we've been exploring throughout Europe, believe it or not. When you go to a lot of the areas that are considered to be sort of lesser off areas, not so well-to-do areas, it's quite literally a giant construction site. Like, a lot of the areas around it are turned into large construction areas, and that a lot of times has to do with the fact that they're quite literally just masking over or gentrifying the hell out of a lot of these areas.
I find it quite fascinating, and I sort of feel like it's a uniquely sort of Western world type of behavior that people, and Europeans in this case, are exhibiting here, where it's like they just choose an area of the city, they will gentrify that area, that one part. All of a sudden the housing costs are unaffordable, insanely high prices, and they all just sort of huddle together in this one part of the city, where it's then all of a sudden more or less just white people. It's then like sort of considered a hipster area or something like that, and then they just ignore the rest of the city, where it's like all of the like wealthy leftist people, usually they come together and do this, and they just act like, oh, everything is fine, you know, like they don't see the rest of the city. They come together here and just act like it's not happening. But then all of the people that are actually blue collar workers, or for example other Europeans that might have gotten sick or something like that, that cannot afford the nice housing and the areas where you actually have investment going in, they have to live with the consequences of the people of the wealthy left that are voting the people into power, that are causing more and more destruction to European countries, and probably also to American countries and Australia and so on. So kind of all of the Western world. I feel like that's a like uniquely Western world issue.
So, believe it or not, what we just walked past, the giant group of children, school children, they're going on a day trip to the local mosque, because that is what school trips are about nowadays in modern Europe. Now, believe it or not, the number one demographic of non-Westerner that is in Belgium, nearly makes up the majority of the foreigners that are here in Belgium, is from Morocco. And for obvious reasons, they're French speaking. But believe it or not, I just did a little bit of research because I was curious. There are around 100 mosques in Brussels, only in Brussels. This doesn't include the entirety of Belgium. This is just the city of Brussels. There are about 100 mosques in reality. In the entire country of Morocco, there are recognized around 40 or so churches. So the entire country of Morocco, around 40 recognized churches. A lot of them are heavily persecuted, and a lot of them are pushed back against, as goes for a lot of Africa at the moment. You cannot be a Christian in peace in a lot of Africa at the moment, but around 100 just in this one European city. We are the ones that are supposed to include and completely forget about everything that we are, and include everything from all over the world. But when we go abroad to these other countries, we are completely kicked to the curb. So diverse right now? I can't even believe that. Just had a look inside this beautiful church here, and believe it or not, this whole area around here used to be basically just swamplands, and this church started as a very, very small chapel that used to serve for people that were bringing wood from nearby forest lands. So they would go out into the woodlands and collect wood and then bring it back to the chapel where they could rest. Since then, the chapel has basically sunken down into swamplands, and this church was built on top of it in the late 1800s. And it's absolutely beautiful. A lot of Flanders, a lot of Belgium as well. It was basically just huge areas of swampland and marshes, and then over time developed into this absolute cesspit, in my opinion, of the capital of Europe. But there is a lot of beauty though still in the old buildings of Belgium. And Belgian churches in general are absolutely gorgeous. One thing that we've noticed that's different though in Belgium, even in the Catholic churches, this one here is a Catholic church, they don't have typical seats where you kneel to pray. They actually have a more of a Protestant style sort of bench system where it's just like kind of like school chairs, and it's a lot more simplistic, but still very beautiful on the inside.
A lot of the churches here as well sort of seem to be a mix of Roman church and the French church, sort of, because obviously first the Romans have been here occupying, building a lot of churches, and then the French came and sort of took the churches over, and then at the end it ended up in Belgian hands, of course, and you can sort of see the influence of all of these. It's very interesting.
Beautiful. Walking around here in Brussels for like the last, I don't even know how long, over an hour probably, and we've basically just seen hipster cafes and Japanese restaurants and absolutely nothing that is authentically Brussels or authentically Belgian. So we decided to do the most authentic thing possible and go into a Carrefour Express and get a baguette. Basically just grab ourselves a baguette, and we don't feel like getting any sort of, halal steak, so we're gonna have a baguette. Not that bad. Good.
It's actually better than the baguette in Paris. In Paris. Really good.
We went to a fancy bakery in Paris and got some overpriced baguettes, and these are actually nicer than those ones. So you're doing something right, Belgium. Well, we made it to Gare du Nord, which is the Brussels North station. And this here, believe it or not, is the most notorious area of Brussels for illegal migrants to arrive to and hang out in. It's also the area of the red light district, the human trafficking zone, the drug trafficking zone. Every sort of 10 out of 10 European Union experience that you can think of is here.
That's what I wanted to say. You have all of those bad things here, and then even worse, you have some offices of the European Parliament here as well.
Yeah. So if you're fed up with the people on the street, you can go into an office and have a bureaucratic
nightmare
coward that works in the European Union. Anyways, this is the station over here. It's a very old building actually, with a sort of a clock tower. But down below, it's basically just a symbol of absolute decay. And all around here on the bottom, on the base level, it's a combination of people that seem to be commuting, obviously, through the station. And then there's every now and then like random gangs of like Syrians and Afghanis and North Africans and people from all over that are just passing through. And again, I'm using a concealed camera here because I've seen videos of people that have come to this area before and they're quite literally attacked if they're seen with a camera. So we need to keep this on a sort of a hidden camera here. Guy is just randomly attacking the bus stop with his crutch, hitting the bus stop and demanding money off of the local people. What a lunatic. It's a horrible area around here, I'll tell you that much. And have a look here at the front of the station. So this here is actually the entrance of the station. This is Europe, by the way, in 2025. It looks like we are in a war zone somewhere in Pakistan. They don't even have enough to keep the electricity going.
It's crazy here.
What an absolute joke. Look at the bin here. This is in the center of Europe. The capital of the EU, right? The representative face of all this progress.
This is, by the way, also where we first arrived by bus. So this was our first impression.
This was our first impression of Brussels.
I think this is a lot of people actually arrive at this specific station here because all of the long distance buses are coming in and out of Gare du Nord for some reason. So this is the first impression of a lot of people.
It's horrible. So many people just hanging around. It is a weekday here and people just hanging around, just doing nothing, very obviously getting up to a lot of really illegal stuff. Because why else would they be just hanging around?
He's getting in with the lady, or he's trying to find somebody to get in with.
Yeah, there's a guy over there that's literally just trying to jump in behind people. This is the station, guys. It's just piss everywhere.
And the door doesn't work.
The door doesn't even work. So people just screaming at each other over there. I don't know what they're saying, but...
And then...
What does that say?
I promise you a miracle.
Promise you a miracle, yeah. If there's one thing that is representative of modern Europe right now, it smells awful. This is disgusting. One of the main stations in Brussels. All facilitated by the absolutely disgusting weirdos that run the EU. Look at this place. Look at this place. What is going on?
I think they are trying to renovate it, but it's not working.
They're too busy shoveling money down the throats of random people.
They're too busy arresting. They're too busy arresting grandmas that make angry Facebook posts.
Too busy spending money on police resources, arresting people making Facebook posts online. There's two doctors and engineers over there just standing there, smoking crack or whatever. And then you can see here in the buildings the nice, beautiful, clean glass tower building blocks. This is where all the wankers that work for the EU are. And then next to it you have the social flats of all the working class people that have to look at this station every day, that have to walk through here, that have to fear for their children's lives, all of that good stuff. And you get to have a nice platform to jump out of every now and then as well. But again, at least the crosswalks are diverse. Welcome to Brussels, people. Yeah, no shit. Oh man, this is hell on earth. Literally hell on earth. probably. This is what we're letting into Europe, by the way.
Normal entry to the North Station.
Totally normal metro entry. What the fuck? This is a complete red light district, by the way.
We figured it out now. We didn't know it was.
What would you? Listen, you're not the first black girl.
I am the only woman on the street. It just smells.
Europe is done for.
It just smells intensely of drugs and the body odor. Oh.
Europe is over, guys. I don't know what to tell you. There's no point. It's the police driving through, but the police can't do a damn thing. They can't do a damn thing. There's people dealing drugs. There's people literally swinging knives around. Like, no one cares. No one cares.
No woman can walk down these streets safely.
If you are alone and you are a woman, you are not going
this
down
was
that way.
legit the most unsafe that I have felt in like probably 10 years.
Paris legitimately feels like a playground
I have like crazy fast
compared to
heartbeat.
here.
So scary.
Insane.
If you are one of those people that works in the EU Parliament offices just over there and you walk through here every single day, shame on you.
Shame on you. You facilitated all of this stuff. Disgusting cowards that are introducing these horrible policies. You've destroyed these countries. There you go, guys. Capital of Europe, hey? You guys need to remember that we are not doing these videos with security guards. So we gotta keep it careful out here. We're not paying a security team or whatever to go around with us and try and be aggressive towards these people. We're just showing you the reality as it is on the ground. We don't want to be these types of people that are trying to start fights, because that's not who we are. We will, obviously, I will defend ourselves if someone tries to do something, but we're not gonna go around and try and antagonize these people. There's so many homeless people, especially around here. Actually, it's kind of doubled. I think there's no better place to put an ending to this video here in Brussels, to this little adventure in this hellhole city, than right here in the northern quarter. It's entirely just junkies, homeless people, people selling drugs to those homeless people, prostitutes, people that have quite literally just arrived here illegally. You can tell it is by far the worst place that we've ever seen. It's 100% sort of the epicenter of a lot of the issues that are happening in Europe at the moment. This place is just horrific. So
it kind of seems to be like the spawning point of North Africans.
Yeah. Literally, as we have been filming and as we've been standing here trying to film this video, we constantly just have people walking around us smoking different types of drugs. I don't even recognize any of the smells around here. This place is just awful. There is no hope for Brussels. If you are someone that's living here, I genuinely feel bad for you. I don't even care what you have to say about it. You probably are going to say, oh, I lived here for and it's safe. I don't give a crap. If you are coming here as a tourist, it's awful. If you're coming here as a visitor, it's horrific. It feels permanently sketchy. Like the vibes are off entirely. There's nothing positive about this place.
In all fairness, all of the Belgian people that the two of us know have already left the country, and I don't think that they will return. It feels like sort of the older generations, maybe boomer and older, are still here because obviously they have properties and so on. But for the younger generation, everything our age and younger, I don't think that there's much hope here. I think the only thing that you can do is leave your country behind because it's a lost cause. Belgium and Brussels has entirely lost God, and I don't know, it's just intensely dangerous.
We can't speak for other places that we've in Belgium, but in terms of Brussels, this city, the way that this city looks, the way this city is, we're staying on a suburb in a place called Anderlecht. There's gunshots every day, there's murders weekly, there's violent crime, drug dealing, everything. That's the suburb. The areas that we were in, we didn't even go there today. We didn't show it because it's also incredibly bad. These areas that we've been to 5 different areas in this one video. Every area is the same way. It's not just one specific nice city or whatever. It's not one specific bad area that's cordoned off. It's all of the city.
But even if you live in rural areas or smaller cities, how much longer do you have until it will be coming to your city or village as well? Because as we all know, the European Union government is trying their hardest to put refugees and distribute them kind of a little bit everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know, no matter where you are, you won't have much longer, I think, in Belgium specifically.
It's completely screwed, if I'm being entirely honest. But I think we're gonna sign off here because, to be honest,
it's getting a bit iffy.
We don't even want to be here. We're actually getting the earliest flight out of here tomorrow morning to go to another city that I'm sure is probably equally as crappy. So if you can guess where in Europe we're going to next, comment down below. It's also another hellhole city, brought to you by the people that live here, surprisingly. But for now, we're going to sign off.
God bless you all. Ave Christus Rex.
Christ is King, or as they say in Belgium, Allahu Akbar. We'll see you in the next one.